Battle on the Dunes, going into our first match of the day between the Salty Skyborne and Conglomeration of Ian. You saw a little preview of the ship builds in the lobby, but we will go over them here as well in just a moment. First off, for the Salty Skyborne, we have a Mobula entitled the Skyborne, piloted by Sunstrom. It is a Center Merc Mobula with Gat Banshee for close range, paired with 2 Artemis. Their ally is the Salty Thing, piloted by Soderholm. We have another Mercury Mobula, double Artemis on the lower deck, and flare gun and mine launcher, giving them some nice options for specific situations. Their opponents, the Conglomeration of Ian, piloted by Brick Says No Fun, an apt title considering the ship build. This is piloted by Steamy Noodle. It is a Center Mercury Mobula, double Artemis, light carronade, flamethrower, guns staggered on this particular ship. Finally, we have Breadcrumbs, piloted by Nano Duckling. It is a Hades pyramid, Hades Mobula, paired with, oh, interesting, paired with 2 more Hades on the left side and Gat Mortar on the right. I guess he's going to be going for a triple Hades trifecta. Don't see this too often, but I assume since he's running it that it is something he's tested. And of course the Gat Mortar, very powerful at close range. Red team has already taken a position in the eastern ribs. It looks like they want that defensive advantage which the terrain offers them. Not too surprising. This is one of the key tactical positions on this map because it gives you these basically shields for your ship. You can hide behind them, pop out whenever you want, take a few pot shots. If there's too much incoming damage, just back right on up and go behind the cover. Blue team, on the other hand, has taken an open position in the center of the map, and it seems like Salty Thing is going to initiate the fight. We do have some mercs coming out. Also, let me know if I need to turn up the game volume. It does sound a little low to me, but I'll wait to get some feedback on that. Hades coming out from the Breadcrumbs. We don't have any real solid hits here. Salty Thing is doing his best to dodge. That is one of the important maneuvers that you really need to implement if you're going to be piloting a Mobula, especially in these longer stamper matches. By bobbing up and down as a pilot, it does allow you to dodge a lot of the incoming fire, and basically just puts more stress on the opposing gunners to get hits. If you're just standing completely still, it's very easy. Oh no, Skyborne actually trying to duck down a bit, hitting the ribs, taking a bit of hull armor damage, not what he wanted to do. And so far it seems like this is going pretty even. None of the ships taking a lot of damage. Some of the shots continuing to go wide. Skyborne, he's using these ribs to his defensive advantage, and he's just going to continue to dodge these Hades. Flare coming out, giving them better visibility of the Brick Says No Fun. We do have a string of Hades connections on the Skyborne. He's desperately reversing. We might actually have our first hull armor break of the game, but it looks like he's going to duck up into... Oh, there's the hull armor. And unfortunately, Breadcrumbs is the triple Hades ship, so they do not have the explosive damage to supplement it and get a quick kill, but it looks like Brick Says No Fun is going to play that role. And we have another hull break as they hit the ground. Hydro trying desperately to rise up. Not Hydro, actually just Stamina. But taking only half health. Salty Thing is going to descend here, try to block the Brick Says No Fun, give his ally a little bit of support. Unfortunately, drop it down a little too much, losing their close range gun arcs, having to take time to rise back up. But the Brick Says No Fun has lost its hull armor. We have a Gatling coming out. We have Artemises coming out. About 60% damage on the Brick Says No Fun. They're going to bounce back up into the sky, into the arcs of both these red ships. Breadcrumbs is desperately trying to close the distance. If Breadcrumbs can manage to get the Gap Mortar in, he can maybe kill one of these ships as his ally goes down. Will this be a trade? Salty Thing, he's afraid of that Gap Mortar. He's going to be rising. He's going to try to get out of the gun arcs, but unfortunately his balloon is heavily damaged, and that's going to limit his vertical acceleration. So unless Breadcrumbs can get a fast kill on Salty Thing here, they might succumb themselves to the Skyborne, which is coming from behind. Gatling's coming out. Banshee's coming out. Breadcrumbs losing their balloon to that Banshee. It's very unfortunate, because now they really have no maneuverability. They're going to crash into the ground. They're going to take a lot of damage, and they're finally going to get taken out with the support of the Artemis from the Salty Thing. Definitive engagement from the Salty Skyborne. Maybe just a little bit of too much aggression from the Brick Says No Fun. They really decided to push on the Skyborne, and I guess they figured they could get a fast enough kill, but with the Salty Thing coming in from behind, succumbing themselves, and then now leaving their ally, the Breadcrumbs, by themselves. Just not, you know, the close range aggressive play did not work out well for them. So I am curious if they're going to try to stay at range here. They do have a little bit of a disadvantage at extreme long range matches, since they the red team does have the double Mercuries for the Mobulas, whereas the Breadcrumbs only with that Hades, going to require a little more accuracy to hit at range. You see some of the shots now going wide. Brick Says No Fun is moving forward under the veil of cloud cover. He's continuing to murk the Salty Thing, but I think he's going to pop up here and engage close range guns on the Skyborne with the additional DPS of the Breadcrumbs. This might be a fast kill here for Blue Team. Mercury's going to come in, keep the whole armor suppressed. Hades is going to do a Hades not hitting, which they need those Hades to hit. That is an important amount of damage. More Mercs are going to come in, keeping the whole armor low. All they need with the whole armor going down is a few Artemis shots to finish off the Skyborne. They're backing out. They're rising a little bit, just trying to dodge the shots as best they can. Their balloon is actually fine. At the same time, Salty Thing, they've taken point in their formation, hoping that Blue Team maybe splits their fire a little bit, which they actually are doing. Merc shot going into the Salty Thing. I feel like in this situation, I mean, the Skyborne is so heavily damaged that Blue really wants to focus them with both their ships and get a fast kill. Breadcrumbs, whole armor's going down. This might be an opportunity for Blue Team if we get some well-timed Artemis. No, not a lot of gun disables going down this match. The Mobula being the ship that's probably one of the most resistant to opposing disabling fire because the guns are so spread out. So that's not going to be the biggest factor this match. The Skyborne, he's moving forward. He might be out of position. He's lost his whole armor, but there's no explosive damage to come in after the hull break, so he's going to stay alive for this moment, but he's realizing he's too far forward. He's trying to get out of here. Hades going wide, just barely dodging those shots and surviving. But I think that's going to be it for the Skyborne. And now the Salty Thing. I don't know why Red Team has not taken the opportunity, considering they've already taken a lot of damage kind of at the beginning of that fight, to try to go for a longer range engagement, or they can more easily take cover if needed. Because going into a fight with a low health Mobula is a huge detriment, and the low health Mobula will die very quickly. It's a very vulnerable ship, as you can see there, with the second red ship perishing. Now we do have an even engagement. Yeah, one of the interesting things about matches in this game is being you need 5 kills to win. That does that does afford you the opportunity to give up 2 full team wipes if you can. So what I always, wonder after a team wipe like that is if they're going to adjust their strategy. If they went into this match with only really one tactic available that they want to stick with, or if in this situation maybe they want to go for a little bit more of a longer range fight, take advantage of the range on their double Mercuries. Blue team, their ships are fairly heavily damaged, and actually they're in a fairly bad position here. They do see the Mobulus, or they are going to turn and react, but the newly respawned red ships are going to engage very quickly, and both the Conglomeration of Ian's Mobulus are at about half health. This has a significant advantage for the red team, and as soon as we start seeing armor breaks, we're probably going to see the blue Mobulus playing a little more conservatively. So we see Mercs coming out. We see the triple Hades from the breadcrumbs targeting the Skyborne. Breadcrumbs going high, trying to stay out of the upward arcs of the Artemis. Breadcrumbs' armor is going down. Not really any Artemis coming out. He's going to dodge down. He's actually going to not hit his ally, but he's taken a lot of damage here, and if the red ships decide to dual focus him, he could go down very quickly. While some long-range Banshees hitting the open, the downed hull of the breadcrumbs. 10% health. Brick says no fun, being forced out by the Gatling of the Skyborne, rising up. And then ducking back down. But the Salty Thing is waiting for him, so there's really no place for him to be. Actually burning out his balloon in that maneuver. It might have been intended to help him drop faster, but this means the downward arcs of the Gatling are going to continue to do damage. Breadcrumbs moving up the support. Let's see if they can get a fast Gat Mortar kill. I don't think they're going to be able to, with the Salty Thing moving in to support a ram, bumping them back, bumping them upwards into the arcs of the Skyborne. They're so low. I'm surprised that ram actually didn't kill them. But I think they're going to go down here. And this is probably all she wrote for the Brick Says No Fun. Gatling is going to come out. They're going to try to do something to the Salty Thing, but going to be unable to. And we now have a 4-2 lead for the Salty Skyborne. Unfortunate for them. Also, I'm going to turn up the game volume a little bit. This is fairly... These ships are playing fairly aggressively considering their 4 sniper modulas on dunes. Oh, we have a lot of forward positioning. I mean, blue team ventured all the way onto red side of the map after they wiped them previously. Really did not work out for them. I think they assumed that red would be going for a more western spawn, at which point they could claim the ribs for their own defensive advantage, but unfortunately, red team spawning behind them in these clouds and getting the advantageous start to the fight. It looks like this might be our first really long range fight of the match. This is the more typical fight that we see on dunes, with one team in the southeastern ribs and the other team at the rusty ship to the north. So both teams affording a little bit of terrain to work with if they need to duck behind something. Salty Thing is going into this match with fairly significant hull damage. That's something they need to be cognizant of, and I'm sort of surprised that they've taken the forward position here, considering they're the one with damage on them. Typically, you want your healthiest ship at the front to tank some of the damage. Breadcrumbs taking a more southern position. They're getting spotted in the process, taking a little bit of sniper fire. I assume they probably want the element of surprise. But this does mean there's going to be a period of time where Brick Says No Fun is going to be taking the combined fire, sniper fire of both the red ships before Breadcrumbs actually gets back into position and is able to re-engage. And I think Red Team is realizing this. They're actually going to move forward away from the Breadcrumbs. So this may have been a huge tactical error for the Conglomeration of Ian, because Breadcrumbs is going to be totally out of this fight in just a moment here. Maybe the clouds obscuring Brick Says No Fun. This is a crucial moment for the blue team. They do not want to be spotted here. Breadcrumbs. Looks like Breadcrumbs going to be engaging at close range. Gatling coming out at the Salty Thing. If they ram them... Oh, Salty Thing. Oh, jeez. Bouncing. Oh, Ping Pong. Dodging under the Breadcrumbs, bouncing back out, knocking out his balloon. And now the Skyborne coming up on the Breadcrumbs. I think we're going to see another ram here, potentially killing... No, Skyborne opting to go over. Breadcrumbs losing their balloon, going to be dropping down. This does give them the opportunity to re-engage the Salty Thing, but the wrong ship, the wrong side of the ship is pointing towards them. They're slowly turning the Gat Mortar, and I think this is going to be a kill for the Salty Skyborne. Just all the movulas rubbing up against each other, making me very uncomfortable. But a very definitive fight for Red. Just Blue trying to go over and over for those close range engagements and just it never working out for them. Strong play from the Salty Skyborne. We will be seeing them, I believe, in our next match.